here. We got Instagram here, and Facebook gonna be on there later. That's my favorite part. Okay, I got to shut. I had to let that part play. It's my favorite part. I was blind, but I could not see. Okay, but I cannot sing is what I was trying to say. Anyway, so here we are on YouTube. Don't be laughing at me, Dwayne Wayne. And Instagram, I got my water. I feel much better, you guys. Y'all know, what was it, the Sunday check-in? I cried the whole time. And it was just a rough day, but today is a better day, which the lesson for today is it gets greater later. And that's where, if y'all hear the water, that's the water going in my glass. Yes, that's the water going in my glass. Look, YouTube, I don't know what's going on with the colors and things and all of that. Instagram is looking fly, but YouTube is looking kind of rough. So sorry, YouTube. If you don't like the way I look, go on over to Instagram. I had to get my waters because, you know, you got to hydrate. Anyway, so I want to continue some of my talk from, what was it? Sunday's check-in. I was talking to someone about Sunday check-in, and it occurred to me that, you know, we don't talk about death. So when it happens, we be hit in the side of the face looking stupid. Like, what the hell? I didn't think about any of these things. So I'm going to start this off. I think this is going to be a medley kind of spiritual tools Tuesday. But I wanted to share with you all some things that I wish people had told me when I was dealing with these deaths. Because, see, you know, we always think we got time with our loved ones. We always think we got time with ourselves. We don't. Death comes and it be here and it ain't nothing to do. You don't have no more time. Boop, it's over. So we have to start thinking about these, especially as Black people. You know, because death brings havoc into everyone's life. You have rifts in families, you know, all of that. You have, you know, where is the paperwork? Who is in charge? Who gets what? You know, it gets ugly. It gets so ugly. And I have seen families fall apart because someone died, especially if the person that is dying is the matriarch or the patriarch of the family, and no one has taken the time out to figure out what's going to happen when that person leaves. If you have children, you know, you got to have this conversation. We never want to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about it. You bring it up and people are like, oh, you're trying to speed it along. What? And we have this stigma against death, and death is a natural part of life. So, you know, spiritually, we have to think about death, and physically, we have to think about death. Hey, Ruby. So some things I just wanted to reflect a little bit, because like you all know, I've gone through some deaths of both of my parents, my grandparents, and all of that. And spiritually, I've learned some things about getting through the grief. But also legally, there are some things that we need to think about. So if you are a parent, I implore you, please, please, please get a will. My father died without a will. Matter of fact, he died the day before he was going to meet with the lawyer to do his will. And so when he died, I didn't have a will. What I had the benefit of, we had the conversation right before he died of what he wanted to happen. So I knew what he wanted to happen, but a lot of people don't have that benefit. So if you are a parent, if you are a person who does everything for your family, you know, we're constantly talking about people who are the glue that holds their family together, that, you know, we do too much, we say too much. We are the ones that people always come to. If you are that person, it is imperative that you have this conversation with at least one person about what you want to happen with your stuff and with the family once you have gone. The question becomes, where did they put the paperwork? That's a big one. Where is the paperwork? Where are the mortgage payments? Where are the bill payments? Where are the insurance papers? You need to have this conversation with at least one person in your family so that they're not lost. It's so hard to be grieving and to try to figure out what is the next step. If you are the heir, if you're the person who is the one that's going to take care of things when your mama dies, when your grandmama dies, if you're that person, you need to know one thing. If you don't learn nothing from Mama Lewa and her fiasco of deaths, know this. When you get the money, and it's your job as the person who is taking care of everything to pass out money. For example, if your mom or your dad has stocks or savings or whatever, and they like, I want this to go to my brother, I want this to go to my sister, I want this to go to the grandkids. If they have stuff like that, don't take that money and put it in your account. And I don't mean like in a vicious way. I mean, don't be like, okay, they gave me this check. I need to cash the check. Let me put it in my account and get it together so I can distribute out the money. The reason you don't do that is because now the IRS believes that you have an income that you don't have. Even if all you did was cash the little, from your job, pension check. They gave you a big check. You put it in your account so that you can divvy it out to who your grandmama or your mama or daddy told you to do it to. The IRS is seeing that it's money that's yours. Even if all you do is cash the check and take it and give it to the people, that's your income. It's not their income, it's your income. So make sure that as the person who is divvying out things, you are opening up an account just for that as the executor. So you want to open up a separate account. Don't put that money with your money, because when you put that money with your money, you might as well keep it because you got to pay the taxes on it. And other people be like, well, I mean, you should pay the taxes on that. So you don't want to start them fights, okay? Spiritually, when people die, according to our spiritual beliefs, which is the Lukumi way, or I guess it's the Lukumi way. We believe that, right when somebody dies, you light a white candle for them and you put up a glass of water. And, we have ancestor altars, and that's where we interact with our ancestors. But when your ancestors cross over, when they first die, we like to give them a little bit of time to get used to their new apartments. They got new spaces and places. So we try to give them, I don't necessarily know if it's Yoruba, boss lady. I'm not sure if that's a Yoruba or a Lukumi, i.e. Cuban / Puerto Rican / New World tradition. I'm not sure. So I don't want to say that what I'm about to say is Yoruba, but maybe it is. Maybe it is something that's across those cultures. But anyway, the practice is to light the candle when they first cross over to give them energy for crossing over, to bring peace to them. I just got a message. I'm sorry. To bring peace to them, and to give them guidance on the other side. Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm getting clarification. Look, I don't be trying to say stuff that I don't necessarily know is true. So I'm gonna stay in my lane. But thank you for clarifying that. So this is also Yoruba, which makes sense because Lukumi and Yoruba are like parallel parts of the same spiritual system. Lukumi is what came over to Cuba. Yoruba is what's in Nigeria, present day. And historically. Anyway, so I try to keep it in my lane. So after the candle goes out, that initial candle that you light when they pass and that glass of water is done, you pour it out or whatever, we wait like 3 months for them to really settle in. And this was hard for me. When my dad died, I wanted to put him on my ancestor altar immediately. And my godmother was like, no, you got to wait. You got to let them acclimate. Let the ancestors like kind of show them around, show them how to do stuff. They got to, get used, put their pictures up on the wall and things. And then after 3 months, they're settled and you can add them to your ancestor altar. Now, for me, the ancestor altar, and I said this on Sunday, is what is my lifeline. it helps us to deal with the grieving process, because number one, you have a space for you to honor that energy, to interact with that energy, to speak with that energy. It keeps their energy alive, it keeps their spirit alive, and the more you say their name, the stronger they get. So that's the importance, and that's the beauty of an ancestor altar, is that it gives you a grounding, it gives you a space, right? But it also gives them a space. And they need a space in our lives. And so as we have people who are passing on, adding them to our ancestor altar is a way to honor them, but it's also a way to keep the connection with us. So let me just share a little bit. They telling me, tell them about your mama. So y'all live vicariously through me. So, everybody want to claim to be an empath now. That's the new thing. It's in to be an empath. It's in to hear spirits and talk to them. Yeah. But this week, my mom has been on me. And when I say my mom has been on me, those of you who are new to this spiritual space, it means that I could really feel her. And how do I know I feel her? Like, your mom, your ancestors, they always around, but sometimes one will stand out and be really strong. And like, you might hear their favorite song. You might get a taste for their favorite food. You might smell something that reminds you of their scent. Me, in this case, I heard her voice clear as day. And when I heard her voice, it made me cry. I was like, hey, mama, so, and you can, the same way you would feel them. I remember my mother would come to me in dreams. She doesn't do it very often, but when she does, it's strong. And in the dream, I would see her and I would talk to her, and it would feel like I was talking to her. And the same way I felt with her in life, that's the way I feel when she visits me. So, we have the ability to, I know this is probably weird to some people, but some people know exactly what I'm talking about. You have the ability to ask them to, show themselves, to help you through, especially when you're missing them, or when you having a particularly hard time, you can ask them for guidance and assistance, and they will come to you in your dream. At least it works for me. I don't know if this works for everybody. If this has worked for you, please share it with the other people. I don't want to be the only one. Excuse me, like this is what happens for me. I believe that this happens for anybody, but I don't know. Hey, April. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So for me, especially when I was having a hard time in the beginning when my mother passed, and when my dad passed, I would pray before I went to sleep, give me just a sign that you are okay. And then that's when I would have the dream, or I would like hear their song or whatever, and I would know they're okay. Sometimes I use it to say, hey, I'm having trouble with a certain aspect of my life and I need some guidance. Give me a sign, give me some guidance, give me some clarity. And that's when the dreams come through. And when you wake up, you got to write it right down. You can't get up and go to sleep. I mean, you can't get up and go to sleep. You can't get up and go to the bathroom. You can't start doing stuff because the dream starts to disappear. So you want to keep something by your bed, especially for those times when they come to you, because sometimes they're coming with a message and you want to write it down. You need to write it down as soon as possible. So I think that was everything I wanted to say about, I'm sorry, that's my little tablet over there dinging. I think that's all I wanted to say about death. I wanted to emphasize the need for us to reach out to at least one of our family members and talk about what is supposed to happen once we pass. I wanted to talk about the need to clear up what happens with your property. Pause. My glasses. This makes so much sense because I haven't been connecting with a friend of mine that died tragically a year until recently. I definitely put her straight on the altar. Ah, yes, yes. And especially tragic deaths. Oh, they need our help for real. They really need our energy. Because, you know, when you die tragically, if you're murdered, if it's suicide, if it's a sudden thing, that's kind of like a shock. And so when we are putting them on our altars and we're giving them light and we're giving them energy and we're praying for their elevation, that helps them. So she may have been, and this is just my assessment. This is not the gospel. This is not across the board. This is just me. I'm thinking that if somebody had a tragic death, you may not hear from them right away because they are adjusting, right? They may need a little extra time than somebody who just was like, I'm 97, so that, you may continue to give them light, continue to speak her name, continue to pray for her elevation, pray for her peace, and give her that light that she needs to make it on the other side and to kind of heal from that tragic death. And that's just me and my stuff. I hope that helps. Property. If you have property, someone needs to know what happens to your property. Don't let the government jump in and figure out what that is supposed to look like. It gets ugly. It gets ugly. And even if you don't get an official will, which you should get, at least write it down somewhere. At least have the conversation with somebody and let everybody know that you've had that conversation. Like when my dad died, everybody knew. He done told her what she's supposed to do. We know he told her. He told us. And even with that, I had issues. So try to alleviate that as much as you can, please. Keep your stuff in a file box so that if you should pass suddenly, somebody knows, go there. That's where the insurance papers are. That's where her work papers are. That's where his mortgage papers are. Like, they need to know where that stuff is. People need to close out your accounts. What happens to your social media account? Like, you need to really think about who is doing this and do they know what to do? Who's going to take over the role of raising your children? Who's going to, pay for their blah, blah, blah? Is there money put to the side? It's time for us to start. And like, if did nothing wake us up, COVID should have woke us up. I was finna say what Trump said, that it's people dying that ain't never died before. But that ain't what I meant. I guess that is kind of what I meant, because with COVID, people died. I had a friend who I would see from time to time at my job. And, we would see each other on Facebook and everything. And this was in the beginning of COVID. This was like April when, COVID hit New Orleans in like March, right after Mardi Gras. And in April, she was dead. And I was like, what? How? Oh my God. One of our teachers, 2 weeks in, boom, she was gone. So we think we're going to be here for a very long time. We don't know when our day is. So don't put it off, is all I'm saying. Don't keep putting it off. Now, all right, that was the hard part. Now we're going to talk about don't be putting it off in a different kind of way. But first, let me give you your card for the day. Did I do a card? Oh, yes, I did. I remember pulling the card on Sunday check-in. Was a blur. I'm so sorry. But I needed that day to cry. And y'all was here for me. It made me feel better. When I finished Sunday check-in, I felt so much better. All right, so we're going to do a card for today. Oh, they just said y'all don't need these warm and fuzzy cards. Is that it? Yes. The mean serious cards. They want to say something. Oh, these to get your right cards. These to pull your coattail cards. Oh, come on, Old Faithful. These ones don't play. Let's see what they got to say. Oh, please be nice, please. Ooh. Speaking of be nice, while I'm shuffling, I have a 7 o'clock appointment open for tomorrow. If anybody needs a reading, just gonna throw that out there. Let's see. Interesting. Is this it? Oh, okay. Look, y'all, we got a king of whoa. Look, I be trying to explain to people, hey, Abba Yomi 6. I be trying to explain to people why I love the tarot so much. To me, it's like a soap opera. So, like, I get a card and be like, ooh, hey, Monica. I be looking at the cards like dun dun dun. So the card today is the King of Swords reversed. Now let me just pause for a minute because I do not like when that card comes up. I just don't. Because see, look, the King of Swords is already salty. He already mean and stuffy, be slicing just like guy. He the one that's got like, can I go? No. Like his no is quick. Did you want to know? I don't. It doesn't make sense. I don't want to do it. And leave me alone. I'm busy. That's the King of Swords. When it's reversed, he's mean. This is a mean energy, a mean-spirited, vindictive, out to get you kind of energy. And it's usually a male. We talk about kings, we talk about males. So this is somebody, this is an enemy, right? The King of Swords reversed deals with an enemy, somebody who is deliberately in your business trying to knock shit over. Oh, I'm sorry, I was cussing. Whatever, that's what it is today. Anyway, the King of Swords is someone who's always trying to stand in your way. He's always looking for an opportunity to attack. What? We don't like the King of Swords reversed. What y'all done did that we got the King of Swords reversed? Let me see what they're trying to say. It's the energy that is around us. So maybe this is a time for us to be on our guard for hidden challenges. That's the King of Swords reverse, but it's hidden challenges that come from outside of us. So this is the week that our enemies is going to try to like maneuver and attack. So be ready. Cross your T's, dot your I's. Do not allow your mess ups to be the opening that they can use to get to you, first of all. Second of all, this is a card that lets us, oh shit, peace of life, peace of life. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, I just heard this big and strong today. Oh, which goes into what I was going to talk about. So if you are a person who is pushing to do something, you have been called to do something, and you've been like dragging your feet on it. My message today was when you take a step forward, the universe will take 3 more for you. And we are being told, to move in a direction, to make changes in our lives and in our environment, in our community, at our jobs, to be the light, to stand up, to be the leaders, right? When you do that, sometimes you go into a space that you have no idea how to do what you've been asked to do. Well, we need you to open a business. What? Well, I don't know how to open it. Just start. Okay. We want you to take your business and move it into a building. Like, what? Well, how am I supposed to do that? Just start. So you just start, right? And you start walking in that direction, and you recognize that they start bringing things into your life. When I say they, I mean your spiritual entourage starts bringing things into your life that weren't always there. You know what I'm saying? It's because you're walking in that direction that now you're in the place to be where you can make the next step. And so that's important. But this King of Swords reverse pops up when you start to be successful, right? Because when you start to be successful, when you start to walk in your destiny, it attracts the flies and the moths to the light, and they like, what? Well, what's she doing? Well, what he doing? What? Oh, and then jealousy, insecurity, people who feel like, why are you getting this favor? Why are you getting the attention? People like that start to show up. And that's the energy of the King of Swords. We have to recognize when we have the King of Swords or the Queen of Swords, the root of their attack is based in jealousy. And it's also based in insecurity and disappointment. Oh, shoot. Oh, wait, I'm still in that. I'm sorry, y'all. Let's take this from Monica. New levels, new devils. What? I love it. But it's true. You know, you are just like, most of us are just following our destiny. We're following the guidance of our heart. And the more that you do all of these spiritual tools where you're meditating and you're journaling out and trying to figure out what's my next step to my happiness and my joy. Oh, okay, let me go that way. It's not that you're trying to do something against somebody else, or you're trying to steal the light, or you're just really trying to follow what is being presented to you. But that causes a problem to these people, because these people feel, let me tell you, disappointment is a thing that can destroy a person. You know, if they are wallowing in the things that don't connect in their lives, and then they look over at you and they see things connecting in your life, ain't nothing worse, ain't no worse enemy, ain't no worse curses than jealousy. I'm just telling y'all. And so that's why not only do we listen to the directions, but we have to make sure that as we go to these new levels, we are also doing our protection work. We're also putting our prayers up. We're also asking for our spiritual entourage to stand in the gap between us and danger, between us and negative energy, you know, because that's what the King of Swords reverse is about. It's about someone who is trying to block you. No, that's a passive. The King of Swords reverse is not passive. Oh God, I hate. You know what? I want to be love and light. You know, I want to be like, no, everything's gonna be fine, but it ain't always fine. Sometimes your enemy wins. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people actually intend to hurt you. Oh, I don't like this message. It took me a long time to get this message, and it was a painful message for me because I don't move in that direction. I don't move like that. So I'm not trying to hurt people unless you piss me off. Then I'm trying to, I want you to hurt bad. But I really don't try to sit in that space, but I know she in there. Anyway, but there are people who, oh, shit. I don't know where these messages are coming from tonight, but it's apparently Watch Your Back Spiritual Tools Tuesday. So I've had situations where, because of something that I had in my life, another person decided that it was a slight against them, and they went to an outside person to do something to me, and like to bring harm, actual harm to me, right? To destroy like my good luck, to hurt me physically, to dry up my money, to, you know, to mess up my luck. And I've always, up until that point, I always thought, you know, oh, people be like, oh man, I'm jealous, you know, and they just have that kind of energy. No, people act on that energy. They act on that energy, and their intention is not, oh, I'm mad and I'm just a little jealous. Their intention is, I'm trying to hurt you. And that's this energy. I hate to say it, but that's what the energy of the King of Swords is. It's someone who actually wants to hurt you. And because they are a king, they have the ability to do it. Sometimes you be all right, because it's like sometimes it's like fighting a little 3-year-old. You know, they mad and stuff, and they real angry, but they just this big and they can't really hit you. You can move like this and they can't, they punches can't even reach your stomach or whatever because their arms too short. It ain't a threat. It's just like, oh, look, you're so mad. You're so mad. Look how cute you are, but you're mad. But some people, when they get mad, they have the power. They have the power. They have the power. So you have to act accordingly. Like, there are people out there who can actually fuck up your game, right? They out there. So what do you do? And this ain't like, oh, be scared. I'm not a proponent of being scared. I'm a proponent of being prepared and being honest, right? So first of all, don't make no enemies that you don't have to have. So you got to watch yourself. right? You got to be mindful of your own words and your own actions because you don't want to attract hatred, right? But beyond that, you want to put up the barriers. This is why we continue to strengthen up our ancestor altars, because we want our ancestors to be as strong as possible to fight against us. This is why we get extra tools, the candles, the house, the floor washings, the stuff at our doors. That's why we do that stuff. That's why we take stuff and we put it in our offices. When I was doing the chameleon conjurations, the little spells in a jar that you could just put anywhere. I had one for protection because sometimes you need something in your office, something in your space that's going to be inconspicuous, but that's going to be working in your behalf. Sometimes you got to go to work a little bit early and do a little sweep with some salt and then put down some cayenne pepper to protect yourself or in your space. You got to do stuff. Ooh, they talking to me. Come on. So somebody out there got some enemies. Is it me? Maybe it's me. We got some enemies. Look, let me tell y'all, these messages ain't just for y'all. I be like, okay, so Spiritual Tools Tuesday, King of Swords reverse. Let me put up my protection. Sometimes you just need to light a random black candle to keep your enemies at bay. Sometimes you need to, say the 23rd Psalm, keep your enemies at bay. Check on how you're sleeping. Check on your dreams. That's how you know if they're getting close. It used to be, and it doesn't happen anymore, so I can tell y'all this. It used to be that if my enemies were getting really close to me, I would dream of roaches. And if the roach was in my house, I knew that the person was really close to me. And if the roach was outside, then I'd have to worry about it. If the roach was dead, then I had taken care of it. If the roach was alive, then it was some shit happening. So you got to pay attention to how your spirits speak to you about certain situations, because they're going to warn you when the shit is about to hit the fan. If you are paying attention. If you are paying attention. If you have set up that kind of communication. So this is why I'm always talking to y'all about getting that communication flow going, so that when it's time for them to be able to get to you and talk to you, then you already have established that habit. You've already established, when they're trying to get your attention. You already know that. So now that it's time, and it's time to fight, or it's time to flee, or it's time to, shore up your walls, you don't have to try to figure out what they're saying, because you already talked to them, right? So we know that the King of Swords, those of you that don't know me, the reason I say they're talking to me, because I itch when they be around. So if you see me and you're reading and I start, all up in here, it's because your people talking to you. So, okay, so you might want to take a protective bath, which is sea salt. Blessings, boss lady. You might want to take a sea salt bath. This is a good time to take sea salt and basil. That's good for protection. Epsom salt. You might want to line your doors with cayenne pepper, a little bit of cayenne pepper. It ain't got to be conspicuous, like, what is this big red line by your door? No, just a little bit. You get sprinkled a little bit. Cayenne pepper protects you. It also sends away negativity. It also, it's like a fire, like a wall of fire at your door. So you might want to put a little bit around your front door and your back door. If you have problems at work, you got enemies at work, put some by your office door or around your chair. If you have carpet, what is the best way to cleanse? Sea salt in your carpet, vacuum it up. I like to do that. You can even mix it, sea salt and cayenne pepper. Sprinkle it in your carpets and vacuum it up. And it don't have to be a lot. You can spray. Okay, all at once. You can put it in some water in a spray bottle. Add some Florida water, cayenne pepper, sea salt, spray it. Spray it around your corners. Spread it across your floor. So if you can't sweep it up, you can vacuum it up. If you can't vacuum it up, you can spray it. You know what I'm saying? This week we got to be protected. this week. For some reason, it's on and popping. So look out for your enemy. The King of Swords is a deliberate. This is why I'm harping on it, because the King of Swords is deliberate. It ain't the, man, oh, she trip and fall. It ain't that. It's the, let me put this string across the stairs so that when she walks past, she's going to trip and fall. And I'm going to do it at 11:58 because she always go to lunch at noon. Yes, it's that energy. So be mindful. We got enemies. The devil is busy. I done spit all over the place. I'm sorry, y'all. All right, so what else I need to talk about? Put your protection up. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, so I did want to do a little bit of talk about walking in your destiny, right? Walking in your faith. Because that's, I always take my spiritual tools Tuesdays from my life or from the life of people that I'm helping. And actually, this comes from two. It comes from my life and someone else that I'm working with. And it's amazing how I've gotten a couple of assignments that was to me, that was outside of my skill set. I put it that way. And it was like, no, I need you to do blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. And I still, like, in this moment, don't know how to do the assignment that they told me to do. But what I did do, and what I tell you all to do, and I've told you in this other Spiritual Tools Tuesdays, is to break your assignment down into pieces and then just do one piece. You may not know how to, build the house, but you might know how to start looking for plots of land. So I don't know how I'm going to build the house, but I can find the land. So you find the land. Oh my God, I found the land. And now somebody done told me about a loan that's out here for people that's trying to buy a house. And anybody who's trying to, build a house on a plot of land, they can get this loan. But I couldn't have got that loan if I hadn't found the land first. So that's how our missions, our life missions, they unfold in front of us. We sometimes get discouraged because we get overwhelmed with the big picture. And that is not our business. Our business is, okay, let me start with something tangible. If they tell you it's time for you to get a car, you don't have a car. You've been taking the bus, you've been riding your bike, you've been getting rides and Ubering, and now your spirit guides are like, it's time for you to get a car. We tired of you not having a car. And in your mind, you're like, I ain't got no down payment. My credit is bad. I don't know where to get a car. Can I only afford it? And they be like, no, we want you to get a new car. Like, I can't afford no new car. Ugh. Now, usually what we'll do is just sit. Like, I can't do that, so I'm not going to do it. But when you walk in faith, you say, I hear them. I feel like it's time for me to get a new car. I know right now I can't afford a new car. My credit is bad and I don't have no down payment. But if the goal is to get a new car, then what can I do to even start walking in that direction? And maybe in the back of your mind, you'll be like, well, my credit is bad, so maybe if I start figuring out how to get my bills together. And so that don't sound like buying a new car, but really that is part of that process. So you walk in that step and then you realize, hey, here's somebody who's saying they're going to help me get my credit together. Not the scam people, but somebody really who's going to try to help you get your credit together. And now they're giving you ideas and information. Now you're one step closer. So for me, what I've recognized this week, what is this, Tuesday? Yeah, just these 2 days, Monday and Tuesday. Some things that I had started walking in that direction. I didn't know where I was going with it, but I knew, let me just start walking in that direction of accomplishing what they've asked me to do. And in the moment, I was like, this is not going to work. Ain't no way I'm being able to pull this off. And I'm watching as my ancestors put things in my path. Take this class. Okay, so I take the class. It seems like it's not connected to the bigger goal. But then when I take the class, I meet somebody in the class who is pushing me towards the goal. So Our job is to walk in that direction so we can be at the right place at the right time to take the next part of the assignment. If we drag our feet, our ancestors, our spirit guides, our angels are making things happen, but then we're not in the right place at the right time because we didn't follow instructions. So don't let that be you. When you get that book in your mind, when you get that promotion in your mind, when you figure out you want some kids, or you figure out you're trying to get married, or whatever the thing is, whatever the goal is, don't drag your feet because you don't see how it's going to happen. You just walk in the direction as if that is already going to be your destiny. And what you're going to see is that as you're doing this, you're putting your prayers up, you're asking for guidance, you're talking to your ancestors, you talk to your spirit guides. You're going to move a step and you're going to look around and it's going to be, oh, this is going to help me on my journey. This is going to propel me a little bit further. Oh, wait, here's something else that I need. But if you don't start, hey, Ori Unlimited, how you doing? And Asia Bunny, hey, as you start to walk in your faith, you're going to see that they're going to open it up. And not only are they going to open it up, but they're going to bring you the tools that you keep needing to get to the next level. Next level, new devils. New levels, new devils. But you also get new tools. So, all right, that's it. I'm done talking. Anybody got a question before I leave up out of here? I think Monica about to take that 7:00 appointment for tomorrow. But I think I got some appointments on on Friday. And if it's some early morning people on Saturday, I can open up some appointments for Saturday morning. So just let me know. And early, I ain't talking 6 because I will be asleep. But we can do a 10 o'clock Central. We can do it 11 o'clock Central. We can do a 12 o'clock Central on Saturday. If you would like a reading from Mama Lewa. Otherwise, I will see you. I have a 7 o'clock, which I think Monica about to take. And then I have I have an appointment already at 7. I have an 8 o'clock on Friday and a 6 o'clock too, I think. So I said all of that to say, if you would like a reading, a 1 card is 25, a 3 card is 50, a 7 card is 75. And if you'd like a reading, let me know. I can also do a life reading, which is 150, but that takes about 2 hours. So you got to let me know early if you want that so I can map out the time. Life reading. What's a life reading, Mama Lewa? A life reading is a reading about your, Asia Bunny. Hold on, Asia. Oh, here it is. Let me write y'all down because, I'll hang up this thing and be them forgot. A life reading is everything. So it's your career, your finances, your love life, your health, your ancestors, your spiritual life. Talks about the lesson from last year and the advice for the upcoming year. It's a reading for the entire year, which is why it takes about 2 hours. We could talk about your kids if you need a card for them. We could put in your husband and your wife, your friend, however you want. But the life reading covers everything. So let me just go on and get this out the way. Monica, you want me to put you down for 7 o'clock on Wednesday, yay or nay? And then Asia Bunny, you want 8 o'clock on Friday. Friday, 8 o'clock, Asia Bunny. Asia Bunny, inbox me and let me know how many cards you want. 1, 3, 5, or 7, or a life reading. And we're going to do it on Instagram. All right. Monica didn't answer. So I'm going to put you down tentatively. Anybody else want a reading? Inbox me or DM me on Facebook or inbox me. No, DM me on Instagram or inbox me on Facebook. Yes, 3 cards. Monica, you got it. I got you down. I already put you down. I just got to put you down for 3 cards. Okay. I guess that's it for now. Y'all keep your eye out for your King of Swords reverse. Hey, listen, this would be interesting to me. If your King of Swords reverse shows up this week, inbox me and let me know. I'll be interested to see, how this hits you. I already know who mine is, but let me know if you got one. All right. All right, y'all. Peace. Good night. Y'all have a wonderful week. Keep your guards up. Put your sprays out. Keep your protection up. Put your prayers up. And talk to your ancestors. All right. We're going to walk in our destiny. We're going to walk in our destiny. This week, we're going to move in that direction of the thing that they're telling us to do. And sometimes it's little stuff. It don't always have to be start a business, get a promotion. Sometimes it's clean your house. Sometimes it's fold them clothes. Like we're going to walk in that direction. So, don't always think that your ancestors always telling you the big stuff. Sometimes they telling you to clean your bathroom. Good night, honeycomb. This has been a pleasure. I have enjoyed y'all. I will see y'all Sunday. Oh no, pause. I think I'm going to do Sunday, but I have something planned on Sunday. So if I get back home in time, I'm going to be here Sunday for the Sunday check-in at 7. All right. All right. Peace. Yeah, that's it. All right. Bye, y'all. Bye, Instagram.